So I decided to hook up an external monitor. You know, sometimes when you get a little older, your eyesight's not just quite as good. I was originally really pumped about the idea of having an external monitor on this. After seeing the screen though on the radio, I'm like, God, do I really need it? So I hooked it up to, I think this is a 24-inch monitor. I think I'll hook up a mouse too. Just, you know, I've heard that you can only touch the, you can only do things on the scope and blah, blah, blah. So I'm going to find out for myself. You know, books? What do you need books for? Experimentation. Well, here goes nothing. Well, looky there. It does work. Well, that was much easier than I thought it was going to be. I mean, the resolution is actually fairly decent. You know, I was a little worried with the, what are the options on this? Display 800, let's try 800 by 600 and see if that makes any difference. Not a lot. It doesn't fit the screen as good. So let's go back. This actually fills the screen a little better, so we'll stick with this. But really, you know, even at that setting, and yeah, I've heard all kinds of complaints about, you know, it's not 1080p or 4K. I mean, really, do you need it for a radio output like this? We're not watching Forrest Gump on this. I mean, really, come on. So, one thing I noticed right off the bat is it is true, you cannot do anything but touch the scope. That's a bummer. I mean, to me, if I can touch the screen and make it do things, you know, if I can do this on the screen, I should be able to do that with a mouse. I don't know what ICOM was thinking there. That is kind of a bummer. I will have to admit. Say I see the signal here. I can click on it, and it takes you right over there to it. Which is a little different than touching the screen. If you touch the screen, it blows it up. Then you can touch it again. You know, you can touch it again, and boom, it takes you over there. So again, you touch the screen. It gives you a little blown up snapshot of what that was, and you can click on it. With the mouse, it works a little different. You just go over here and click, boom, and it's there. It doesn't expand the screen. I don't know if there's a way to change that. I mean, I'm fine with it. That is a handy feature. One thing I've read is this, as it is, does not support touchscreen display for your external monitor. Hopefully, maybe ICOM will figure that out. But if it's like the mouse, if you can only touch the scope, I mean, it's not a lot of use to me. I mean, it is handy to, oh, I see a signal, click, and you're there. But like this, if I want to turn the preamp on, you know, if I'm looking at the screen, man, my first intuition is roll the mouse up here and touch that. Well, you can't. You have to come down here and do it. Wanted this radio. This was a huge selling point originally to me, was to have the option for an external display. I like the idea of it. I mean, it's neat looking. Don't get me wrong, I really like it. But I don't know if in my personal situation, in my shack, if I want to give up some room to put a third monitor in, because I'm not going to give up my 2 monitors for the computer. The way I've got it set up, I really like it. So I'm not going to give that up. And with the limited functionality that this gives, with only being able to touch the spectrum scope or band scope, anything you can touch on the screen here, do the same thing by the mouse up here, or even better, have a touch screen up here. You know, I don't know if I'd personally use the touch screen much, But, you know, if you could click it with a mouse, that'd be great. You know, if that was, if they come out with that on a firmware update, I will probably hook up an external monitor to this. Because, hey, you hook up where you can click anything with a mouse on that screen, and I might have a 55-inch TV and sit back in my easy chair with a wireless mouse, and away we go. But, you know, as it is, it's neat and it's cool looking, but it's very limited on its use. So for you, it may be a different story. You may really want this external monitor, and you don't care that you can only click the spectrum scope. I don't know. For me personally, it's very limited in what it can do. So again, I'm not giving up space on my desk for a third monitor with it set up the way it is, with this particular kind of setup. I guess I ought to put my call sign in there, eh? Hey, I appreciate you watching this. And if you wouldn't mind, just go find that thumbs up button. Just go ahead and give her a click, would ya?